Hello, dear friend, dear viewers, dear followers of Patera TV. You are learning and training platform. I'm called Benone. We are going to continue studying about auditing. The last session we have seen about inherent limitation of an audit. We have seen that inherent limitation of an audit is a factor that can limit auditors' ability to detect material misstatement in a set of financial statements. We have clearly defined an audit. So today session we are going to learn about two needs of audit and assurance services. We will talk about some objectives of audit, and we talk about two types of audit. So let me start on the needs of audit and assurance services. First, benefit of audit is to ensure that the requirement of the company's acts and the international financial reporting standards in reporting information have been complied with. Dear friend, the company's acts of certain country require some businesses, some entities operate in that country to comply with some laws. For example, the company's acts determine how the company operated in that country keep their book of account. So the audit is exercised to see if those books of account are prepared according to the company's acts. And international finance reporting standards are issued by International Accounting Standard Board to ensure that the consistency in working the accounting services or auditing services. So the audit is exercised in order to see whether the international financial reporting standards in reporting information have been complied with. The second benefit or importance or need of audit and assurance services is to provide the assurance to the owners of the company. Due to the separation of ownership and management, external audit therefore provides reasonable assurance to the owners of the company that the financial statements as reported by the directors are free from material misstatement or not. Shareholders need assurance over the accuracy of the financial statements before placing any reliance on them by taking some decision. Dear followers of this Patera TV, the management of the company is separate from the ownership of the company. That's why the owner of the company need to know how the investment made in the company are managed by the management. So to know that, they need an audit. They need an auditor to exercise an audit to see whether what management have shown to the owners of the company are free from material misstatement or not. The third benefit of auditing is needed because the report of directors lacks credibility, in that it may contain errors. The shareholders, the stakeholders of the business not believe the work or the financial statement prepared by the directors of the company. The shareholders may think that those reports are containing errors, or it may fail to discourage frauds, or it may be misleading. It may be misleading without intention, or it may be misleading intentionally. So the auditor are exercising audit in the company to increase the credibility of the report that director give to shareholders. Therefore, audit may approve or disapprove assurance and credibility of the company's books account. The fourth benefit, audit is detective and preventive measures. In conducting an audit, the some error may be discovered and fraud may be prevented because audit is exercised in a certain business or company. The fifth benefit is the audit there minimizes the chance of dispute, the chance of disagreement between the management and the owner of the business. Sixth benefit is the borrowing finances with financial statement supported by unqualified audit report becomes easier. Dear friend, dear followers, when the business are finding the finances and they go to the bank with the financial statement supported by unqualified audit report. The unqualified audit report is audit report stating that the subject matter conform to criteria. So the lender of the money give the money to the borrowers in a manner which is simple. The fifth benefit is audit assist investors who are separated from management. So because the audit increase the credibility of the information of a certain business, the investors are investing in the company knowing that he will get a benefit because of the information provided in reported financial statement. So the objective of audit, in objective of auditing, we have primary objectives and secondary objectives of audit. So the primary objective of audit, the first objective is to prove the true and fair view of the company's state of affairs. This really means the audit is exercised to see if the financial statements are prepared according to suitable criteria according to international accounting standard international financial reporting standard according to the company's acts and is supported with sufficient appropriate evidences. Second, primary objective is to find out whether the company has kept proper books of account. So the company's acts require an entity to keep proper books of account. So the audit is exercised with an objective of found if the company has kept the proper books of account. The third objective of an audit, which is primary, is to write a report. So the report is to write a report. A report is a tool an auditor uses to express his opinion on findings he get about to the financial statement, to the books of account, to the vouchers prepared by the management. So the secondary objective of auditing. The first secondary objective of auditing is to provide advice to management in management letter or letter of internal weaknesses. So in exercising an audit, an auditor may find something which is not goes well in the company and give recommendation to management how to solve that thing which not goes well by giving management data to the management. So the secondary objective of auditing is to detection of errors and frauds. Dear friend, when an auditor, when the practitioner are exercising his duty, may discover some errors or frauds. So may detect of errors and frauds. We are going also to talk about the types of auditing. So we have types of auditing according to the work done, or types of auditing according to the approach used. But here we are going to discuss about the types of auditing according to the work done. So we have statutory audit and private audit. We are going to differentiate those types of audit clearly. So statutory audit is legal requirement, but private audit is conducted as per the wishes of the owner of the company. So the statutory audit, the law or the company acts require or demand the companies to do that audit. Statutory audit, their scope of audit is defined by the company's acts, but in private audit, the scope is determined by the agreement between the auditor and the owners of the business. So in statutory audit, the company's acts state the books of account, the vouchers, the statements, which may be examined by the auditors, by the practitioner. But in private audit, the subject matter which are going to be examined is determined between auditor and the owner of the business. In statutory audit, the appointment of auditor is done according to the Companies Acts. But in private audit, the appointment of auditors is done privately. So, in statutory audit, the procedures or process of appointing auditor or removing auditors is determined, is stated by the Companies Acts. In statutory audit, the auditor is liable to third parties, but in the private audit, the auditor may not be liable to third parties. So, in statutory audit, when auditor exercises his duties without due care, without diligence in performing his duties, and his findings depends on by various stakeholders, and those stakeholders affected negatively, those affected auditors assume them. Statutory audit, it is done at the end of each financial year, but private audit can be done even after 3 years. In statutory audit, the auditor's right and the duties are defined by the law. The Companies Acts of a certain country state the rights and the duties of auditors who exercise an audit in a certain company. But in the private audit, the right and the duties of the auditor can be limited by the client. In statutory audit, the auditor is independent, means the auditor is performing his duties, is exercising auditing without any influence, without any pressure from other parties. He do their duties without any threats. The auditor is not a person who has any relationship with someone who have interest in the company, but in a private audit, the auditor's independence can be limited by the client or withdrawn altogether. So, in the private audit, the auditor's independence can be influenced. The audit can be influenced by the management. In statutory audit, the auditor will perform pure audit work, but in private audit, the auditor may do both audit and accounting work. So, in statutory audit, the auditor's scope is not restricted because it is determined by the Companies Acts, but in private audit, the audit may be restricted to few areas depending on the interest of the client. The last one difference is the main objective of statutory audit. In statutory audit, the main objective is to prove the true and the fair view, but in private audit, the main objective is mainly to find out the current profit or loss for taxation purpose. Dear friend, dear viewers, dear followers of this Patella TV, you are learning and training platform where we get knowledge, skills, and competence. We are going to stop this session here. We plan to continue tomorrow. Don't miss. But dear friend, don't leave on this YouTube channel without making subscription. Dear friend, do subscription on this YouTube channel in order to continue see or watch other videos and comment for improvement in our work. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Stay in peace.